Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Any time of the day or night, wherever you are, peace and blessings. And thank you for joining me for a part of your day. So I want to go here just a little bit. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, but I do want to talk about some of the issues with law enforcement. You know, law enforcement takes an oath to obey and abide by the Constitution. And it just amazes me how many law enforcement officers don't even know what the First, Fourth, Fifth Amendment are. And those are the amendments that they will probably deal with most when interacting with the public. And so this is two-part. This is so that we can know what we need to do if we are approached by law enforcement, and so that law enforcement organizations can get on the ball and train their officers and require that they abide by the training, you know, when it comes to the Constitution, so they're not out there just, you know, detaining people or, you know, stopping people because of some feeling, you know, that they may have, you know, because we have a Fourth Amendment right where we do not have to present identification unless the officer or officers can articulate a reasonable, articulable suspicion that a crime that I've been involved in a crime that has been committed, that is in the process of being committed, or that will be committed in the future. Very important, because a lot of people get caught up in this. They wind up getting beat up. They wind up, you know, officers using excessive force. They wind up getting in a back and forth with an officer who doesn't understand that if you cannot articulate that I have been involved in a crime or will be involved in a crime or am involved in a crime right now, then I am not required by the Constitution, the Fourth Amendment, to identify myself. It's really important because it's starting to get out of hand now. And again, it'll go better for officers, and I think that the public will have a better view and more confidence in the officers if the law enforcement agencies are requiring the officers not only to learn this in their training, but to apply it once they are in contact with the public. It'll make things better. And listen, I don't have anything against the law enforcement. I was law enforcement myself for 10 years. So I don't have anything against law enforcement per se. But there are some bad actors out there, and they're making it bad for everybody. So what I want to do is go ahead and share some information through some videos that I've gotten, and see if we can have a better understanding, you know, of the law and of our responsibility and of the responsibility of law enforcement officers when we engage with them or, you know, interact with them. Okay, so I'm going to put these videos on, and maybe I'll come back on the end of it, the other side of it rather, and put some other information out there. Okay.
And today's question is, what is reasonable articulable suspicion? Reasonable articulable suspicion is the conclusions drawn from the actions taken by an individual, combined with the surrounding facts and circumstances, that leads the police officer to believe that the suspicious person has committed, is committing, or will commit a crime.
Do you have a license on you by chance, just so we can document?
I don't want to give you my information. I'm a constitutional law scholar.
But we still have to identify you.
Oh, no, you don't have a right to identify
Well,
me.
actually, you're suspicious activity.
And
I mean, we talk to you just fine.
No, God bless you. So let me, this is what I do for a living.
Yeah,
so what's reasonable articulable suspicion?
You driving back and forth in the road, I'm trying to tell you at this time. And the neighbors were alerted because of your
right. So me
activity.
driving is suspicious activity?
Yes, because this is a dead-end street.
And
Nobody ever drives through
where does reasonable articulable suspicion, where's the phrase come from? Where's it come
You
from?
got me there, though.
It comes from the 1968 case of Terry versus Ohio.
Okay.
Now,
See, and I should've known that.
so the only way that you could get my identification from me
Yes, sir.
is if you had a probable cause standard, which is what? The Fourth Amendment, which says that no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation by the victim. Unless you can produce a victim and the probable cause of a crime being committed, you have no right to identify me.
So it wasn't really my plan to come in the middle of this. I'm really trying to keep this short, but I just wanted to point out in this last video that I put on, the officer, who I believe conducted himself in a very professional manner, albeit there were just obviously things that he didn't know, okay? And the thing that really stuck out is when the driver asked, what is the reasonable, articulable suspicion? And he said, so you're driving up and down the road. And he said, so you're telling me that driving is suspicious? He said, but it's a dead-end road. It's a dead-end street. Which seems to imply that every dead-end street, if you ride up and down a couple of times, it's suspicious. What if he turned down the street, thought he was on the wrong street, turned around, got back up to the corner and said, looked at the street sign and said, oh, wait a minute, it is the right street, turned around and went down again. It is not suspicious behavior, and there's no crime attached. Law enforcement really needs to be aware of some of these things. Okay, back to the other videos.
Can the police stop and detain you for no reason at all? The answer is no. Officers can only stop you if they have reasonable suspicion that the officer believes, not you, and that must be more than a hunch. They can't just simply think that there's something happening. They must actually know about some kind of crime and that you are the person that they believe committed it. Then they can only detain you briefly in order to investigate it, and they must actually let you go if they cannot reach probable cause to arrest you.
Welcome back to our legal term of the week. Today we're decoding the word probable cause. Probable cause is the standard that law enforcement needs to issue an arrest or a search. It is a reasonable belief that someone has committed a crime or that there is evidence that a crime has been committed. Probable cause standard is an essential part of protecting your Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable searches and seizures.
Can I ask, is there a specific reason for your...
Well, there's always a reason, but I'm not going to share it.
Okay.
I'm going to be on my way. Have a good day.
You're going to stay here for a second.
Are you detaining me?
Yes.
For what reason?
Can I see your identification, please?
Have I broken a law?
I don't know, but people take things very seriously when it comes to public safety and military safety, and if you've been walking around the property photographing things, I don't think it's unreasonable for me to ask and find out what's going on.
You need a reasonable, articulable suspicion that I am or I'm about to commit a crime to be able to detain me.
So what are you up to?
So what am I being detained for?
Identification purposes.
In order to ID me, I had to have broken a law.
This activity on 23rd Street, Brooklyn Drive, all of 1 male. At
this point in time, it's an illegal detainment because I have broken no law. Okay. I'm in the process of breaking no law, and I intend to break no law. You have no suspicions of any of those three. Okay. So therefore, you have no right to detain me or try to ID me.
That might be what you think.
That's what I know.
But you can tell me, and I can get you on your way.
Am I being detained, or am I free to go?
No, you are not free to go.
So, as you can see from that last video clip, it cost that jurisdiction $36,000 because that officer who swore to uphold the Constitution didn't do that, didn't know that what he was doing was wrong and that he was violating that citizen's rights. So the taxpayers pay for it, jurisdictions pay for it, and sometimes even officers personally pay for it. So that's it. Thank you for joining me. Peace and blessings to you. And until next time, stay woke.